Well, hey all, welcome to another Day Tripping with Ken. I'm so glad you tuned in. Today we are up at the Irvine Park Railroad for their annual Pumpkin Patch event. They have all kinds of fun things to do here for the kids, for families, for adults. And we're gonna go check some of those out. They got train rides, they've got hay rides. You can see one right behind me. They're gonna get loading that in just a few minutes. So let's see what we can do and have some fun. Now, it's been quite a few years since we've been here, maybe about 10 years. Now our kid is in college. Time goes by, but it's still a lot of fun to come back here and see all the different activities they have. I think they've definitely expanded it over the years, and you can spend several hours here, not just for the pumpkin patch, but there's so much to do here in Irvine Park. You can see in the distance the train is ready to roll. We'll probably get on that if we can in a little bit. And as that leaves the station, you can come past here and see the buildings are all decorated for Halloween. And this is really kind of a photo opportunity for the kids. You can see I have all the pumpkins laid out. What a great photo that would be to take and send off to family. As you see way in the background there, there's more events to be done and more activities, so let's check them out. Of course, it wouldn't be a great Halloween event without a pumpkin bounce house. This looks like a lot of fun. Panning for gold, the kids would enjoy this for sure. I don't recall them doing this years ago. This might be something fairly new, but you know, maybe they had it back then and I just never noticed it, but this is definitely going to keep them occupied for a while. Now, I don't know if they really are going to get any real gold, maybe, but nevertheless, it's going to be a lot of fun. You can see they have another photo opportunity here, which would make just a great fall photo of the family. And as we move through here, you can see all the pumpkins set up and all the buildings that are here permanently. They're here year round, but they're all decorated for Halloween. They have places to go into, a little bit of a spook house here if you want to do that. If your kids would enjoy that. I don't think it'd be too scary here. It's mainly geared towards kids. And then of course we got another bounce house here. This looks like maybe it's some sort of a dragon, but they got a couple of them here, the pumpkin one and this one. And as we move here, we got all the pumpkins again set up for the pumpkin patch. Well, here's a third bounce house. Hey, you can't have too many bounce houses for sure. There are a lot of activities to do here, but do keep in mind each activity needs a ticket. Some of them they need 2 tickets, and each ticket costs $8. So keep that in mind when you got kids or the families. Maybe budget accordingly because it can add up if you want to do all of them. They do have a package here. I believe it's $100. You get 15 tickets, which is about a $20 savings. Now, you can use these for over a period of time. You don't have to use them up all in one day. It is free to get in here. You do have to pay for parking though. Parking is $3 on weekdays and $5 for the weekends. Now, the tickets have gone up in price over the years, but parking is the same as it was like 10 years ago or so. So at least there's that. So I just went over to the outpost here to pick up some tickets for both the train and the hayride. Now the tickets can be used for anything. They aren't specific. So you just buy whatever tickets amount you want. There is a sign up there that says which activity costs. The train and hayride are 1 ticket each, so that is what I got. I did ask them, and besides good old cash, they will take credit cards and Apple Pay. So if you got any of that with you, you're good to go. So you can see the line for the train is pretty long. That is probably at least 2 train loads there. There is only 1 train, so I would say that would take at least about 30 minutes, maybe even 45 minutes. However, the line for the hay rides, well, I'm the only one in line right now, so I'm going to do that.
All the way down forward to the front of the line.
Well, let's climb aboard the hay ride, except where's all the hay? It's just benches.
Now before we take off, a few safety reminders, so listen closely. Keep your arms, hands, feet, legs, body parts, all of your personal belongings inside the wagon at all times. If you drop anything, let me know. I'll wave a goodbye forever.
And away we go.
Say goodbye to the random people here. Goodbye, everybody.
Both the hayride and the train give you a great opportunity, if you have not been to the Irvine Regional Park before, of just seeing what's around here and what you can do on times of the year when they don't have any real events going on. Plenty of places just to picnic and great areas for the kids to get out and run around. They have barbecue pits here, picnic tables, and as we'll see as we go a little bit further, there's a lake that you can rent little paddle boats on. This is really a beautiful park, and so much history is up here. This is really where the Irvine Ranch began, somewhere around 150 years ago or so, and they still have some of the trees that were here all the way back then. They have some of them marked out that you can take a look at, so while you're here in the park and just exploring around, check those out. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can bring your bikes into this park and ride around. There are some trails that you can go on, but any of these roads you can ride around on, and we can take a couple hours and have a really good time. Well, folks, we got lucky. Just about a half hour ago, the train line was probably double of what it is now, maybe even triple. But now it's only about 1/3 full, so we'll be on the next train ride. All right, we got our ticket in hand, so let's hop aboard.
Embark on the 1 mile journey through Irvine Regional Park. Before we leave, safety rules and reminders include you to remain seated throughout the entire ride, keeping hands, arms, feet, legs, and all belongings inside the train. Your driver is Engineer John. In the back, my name is Conductor Josh. Now let's get this show on the road with an all aboard on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, all aboard! We're soon going to be leaving our pumpkin patch and heading out into the rest of the park. We'll see a lot along our way, including some lakes, some old trees, and sites of interest. Our park is the oldest county regional park in the entire state of California. We started 127 years ago in 1897. Upper Lake is home to the 110-year-old boathouse, the oldest building in the park. It was built in 1914, 1 year after the lakes were dug out. That means our lakes were dug out in 1913. How were they dug out? Well, back in the day, they used mules. They used 2 mules. It's used with their special tools to dig out all sorts of sediment to create these 2 lakes. Originally, what was here before was just marshland, where there were puddles everywhere and creeks. Watch out on the right-hand side for a patch of poison oak. Leaves of grief, let it be. Poison oak produces oil. If it gets on your skin, it'll leave an irritating rash lasting up to 3 weeks. Now, the Irvine Ranch was the predecessor to the city of Irvine today, stretching from Newport Beach just shy of Anaheim Hills and everything in between. The Nature Center is the 8-sided building here on the closest to us on the train, and right outside there is a big tree with a plaque at the base called the Constitution Oak. That tree was an adult tree at the signing of the U.S. Constitution, or a mere baby sapling around the late 1600s. In just a few short moments, Engineer John will be taking us through our train tunnel. Seriously, the tunnel gets tight, so hold on. On behalf of our entire crew, thanks for joining us on the Irvine Park Railroad. As we make our way into the station, remain seated we make our full and complete stop. At this time, gather all your belongings with you before you exit, like hats, glasses, phones, and wallets. All wallets left behind will be used to pay for my college tuition. Just kidding. Maybe. When we're fully stopped and safe to do so, please exit the engineer's right-hand side. The very same side you entered in on, once again, the engineer's right-hand side.
Well, that was a lot of fun going on the train. I haven't been on that in several years, so it was great to be back on that again. We're going to try and get up here around Christmas or so. That's when they have their annual Christmas event, and the train turns into the Santa train, and it is absolutely beautiful. All the trees are lit up on the way to really the back of the park, and that's where they have Mrs. Claus and Santa himself set up, where the kids can tell Santa what they're hoping for Christmas. Well, folks, that's going to wrap things up. I certainly thank you for tuning in to another Day Tripping with Ken. Now, I want to mention that this pumpkin event here at the Irvine Regional Park, it goes only till 6 o'clock at night. So it does open on about 10 o'clock each day. It is open weekdays. It is open weekends. But do keep that in mind. It closes pretty early. So if you're coming up here during the week, if you can get up here a little early, it's probably better than the weekends for sure. It's going to be a lot less crowded. But overall, it is a great time up here. I did find out too, I double checked on this, if you have unused tickets, the tickets can be used throughout the year for really anything. You can come back and do any other event that requires a ticket. You can ride the train, except during the holiday event where they have the Santa train. That is a different ticket that you have to purchase. You can't use your unused tickets for that. But throughout the other part of the year, you can use that ticket for the train or any other event, or even if you came back a year later to the Halloween event next year, you can still use the tickets that you bought when you come here. So don't worry about that. If you live in the area, you're going to make it back, you can always use those tickets. So I want to thank you again for tuning in to another Day Tripping with Ken. I really appreciate it. And come up here and check this out. You can go online and find out all information about the tickets and about the hours, upcoming events as well. And also it'll give information about the park in general, what all the different activities they have throughout the year. I told you they have a small zoo here. They've got the lake. You can rent paddle boats. You can bring your bikes. You can hike. You can picnic. You can bring your dogs up here as long as they're on a leash. So there's a lot to offer. Just go online and search Irvine Regional Park, or I find it even easier just to search for the Irvine Train Park. That's kind of what everyone knows about it. So again, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Beware, there may be some scary cats lurking about.